Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on Othello and today we get to hear from Brabantio in Act 1, Scene 2. So Brabantio's daughter Desdemona has run off and gotten married to Othello without her father's knowledge, as we discover when Rodrigo and Iago wake him up and say, check your daughter's bed and see if she's there, and then he comes downstairs and he's like, she's not there, and Rodrigo's like, she's with Othello, so let's go and break that whole thing up. Meanwhile, Iago has disappeared to go be on Othello's side because even though he hates him with flames on the sides of his face, he still needs to pretend that he likes Othello because of the whole keep your friends close, your enemies closer thing. So he's gone, and we started out Act 1, Scene 2 with Iago talking to Othello and sort of giving him a heads up that he's not necessarily in very good favor right now. And yesterday we had Othello saying, look, if it wasn't for Desdemona, I'd beat the crap out of everybody and I'd be going nuts about all this stuff because I've proven myself time and time again, and this is ridiculous that I have to keep doing this. So he's aware that Brabantio is coming, and they see some lights coming off in the distance, and they think that that's going to be Brabantio, but it actually turns out to be Cassio coming to tell him that the Duke wants Othello to lead the war that's brewing in Cyprus. Like, he needs to get on a boat right now and go to Cyprus. So Othello's like, all right, let's make that happen. But then Brabantio comes in to confront him, and he comes in like with a face full of steam, and he's like, you like, hold up, wait right there, whatever. And Othello's like, what? What's your beef? What's your problem with me? And Brabantio says, oh, thou foul thief, where hast thou stowed my daughter? Damned as thou art, thou hast enchanted her, for I'll refer me to all things of sense. If she in chains of magic were not bound, whether a maid so tender, fair, and happy, so opposite to marriage that she shunned the wealthy curled darling of our nation, would ever have, to incur a general mock, run from her guardage to the sooty bosom of such a thing as thou, to fear, not to delight. Judge me the world, if 'tis not gross in sense, that thou hast practiced on her with foul charms, abused her delicate youth with drugs or minerals that weakens motion. I'll have it disputed on. 'Tis probable and palpable to thinking. I therefore apprehend and do attach thee for an abuser of the world, a practicer of arts inhibited, and out of warrant. Lay hold upon him. If he do resist, subdue him at his peril. So what Brabantio is saying here is that there's no possible way that Desdemona would ever have run off with Othello because he's a black man, unless she was charmed and under some sort of wicked spell that Othello must have cast, because otherwise this is a completely unthinkable thing that she has done. And Othello heartily disagrees with that statement because he knows exactly how and why and when he wooed Desdemona and how she came to love him, and we get to hear that in monologue a little bit later in the play. But he's like, this makes no sense, and you can't arrest me now. And he's like, I do arrest you now, and you're gonna wait out this whole thing in jail. And he's like, okay, so who's gonna go tell the Duke that his lead general that needs to go fight a war in Cyprus is stuck in jail for this? And Brabantio's like, the Duke wants you? Well, okay then, we will all go to the Duke right now because this is not a small issue and it needs to be settled. So they all go off to find the Duke to have this whole thing settled so that Othello can either be arrested and go to jail or get on a boat and go fight a war in Cyprus. Which would you pick? Anyway, that's the end of Act 1, Scene 2. Tomorrow we get into Act 1, Scene 3, and I will see you then for that.